You know, if you think it needs explaining. All right, settle down, everybody. Settle down. Settle down. Settle down. You'll notice that the whiteboard has been resurfaced. It lost a lot of its shine over the last stream at 1. But we've tidied it up now. We've got a joke to explain here. And this joke comes to us from M. Curtains. Thank you for submitting it. Oh. So let's have a look at it. I'll wipe this off. Right, after they stopped sheep working in the preparation area of the chip shop, there were a lot of spare battering rams. Okay, well, in the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, which looks something like this, doesn't it? Looks a bit like that. Looks a bit like that. There's this whole other bit here, but we pretend that doesn't exist. Especially this bit here. That definitely doesn't exist. Oh, no. What, land border with the EU? Are you mad? We're an island nation. Sorry, what was I? Oh, yes. So, in the United Kingdom, one of the popular cuisines is fish and chips. Again, because there's so much sea everywhere, an important part of our cuisine has been the consumption of our watery brethren. He's looking a bit sad there because he knows we're going to eat him. So what we do is we catch the fish, and we cover them in a batter, which is a sort of an eggy, floury mixture, and then we deep fry that, which makes all the batter go lovely and crisp, and cooks the fish. And that's usually served with chips wrapped in a newspaper. Well, it used to be wrapped in a newspaper, but we don't really... That's a chip. That's another chip. You get more than 2 chips, and they'd be better cut than that. But that's generally it. That's generally it. Hunger intensifies. I know, right, Jack? I know. Yeah. R.I.P. Well, I know what Norwich stands for, but what does R.I.P. stand for, Hemkins? Man, the existential dread of a crab you would never advance. Yeah. I see East Anglia has given birth. Well, you know, it was a long time coming. It was a long time coming. Funny thing, that land border, isn't it? Isn't it just, Sparky? Right, so, what was I talking about? Oh, yes, so, right, so that's fish and chips, okay? So that's lesson 1 is fish and chips. We can go on to lesson 2. Ooh. That's interesting. Okay, I'm going to come back to that. I've got a permanent chip. It's not on my shoulder, but it's on my whiteboard. I think I've got to... yeah. I've got auto shapes on, that's what it is. Right, so... also, something else that we like to do a lot in this country is we like to take a cloud, don't we? We like to take a cloud. We like to add embellishments to its underside. And then give it a head. And then it becomes a sheep. Zazuza magic. Okay, so though we breed sheep. We breed sheep for food and we breed sheep for wool, don't we? Yes. Now, a male sheep is required in breeding sheep, and a male sheep can often be recognised for its horns. And its horns are used during the rutting season to essentially win contests. Rutting contests? That can't be right. They basically charge. Their main line of defence is, head down. Charge. Basically headbutting, okay? But within the context of this kind of animal, we refer to that as battering. As ramming. Sorry, I'm getting all A about F here. You give it the Orne. Wait, I have an idea. We'll get rid of that land border and you give us the northern part of Ireland. If it was up to some people... yes. Now, we call that ramming, you see. I'm not sure what came first. I don't know if rams are called rams because they ram, or whether ramming is called ramming because rams do it. I'm not sure what the etymology is. We'll look into that. We'll get back to you. That's fine. But in medieval times, power would protect itself in castles, you see. It's just for the sake of argument. This has got 2 of them. Okay, so there'd be a big old gate, maybe with a portcullis, you see. But generally speaking, there'd be a big old wooden door. So let's say we've got a big old wooden door here. You wanted to get into the castle because you think the princess is in there. But you're outside the castle, so what's a man to do? Well, one thing you can do is get a big old... what are you doing, Jack? What are you doing? Is get a big old bit of wood and a load of burly people, usually men. But I reckon if there was a woman in the village that was burly enough, you'd want to involve her in the proceedings. I appear to have drawn a caterpillar. Anyway, these are soldiers. They've got soldier hats on. Look at them. Look at them. You see? They would, much like our ram friend, they would charge at the gate, not with their own heads, but with a large bit of wood. Large bit of wood, yeah. And we'd call it this. Hang on. We'd call this. Anyone? A battering ram, you see. A battering ram. Yeah? Yeah, we all on board? We all on board? So, here's that word, battering again. And the word ram again. So let's put that in the middle of our little thought diagram. See if we can't get to the bottom of this joke. Because I think we've got all the pieces here now. We just need to put them all together. And get rid of the that. No. Thank you. Right. So let's take a look at battering ram. So we've got battering ram. Yes, in the sense of a castle's siege. But we've also got battering in the sense of fish. And ram in the sense of sheep, you see. So let's have a look at this joke again. After they stopped sheep working in the preparation area of the chip shop, yes, where one must assume they were battering fish, yes, there were a lot of spare battering rams. So once they'd been they'd lost their jobs, that they were, they didn't have anything to do. They were spare. There was surplus requirement. But they were rams that did the battering. So they were battering rams, you see. Battering rams. So, as we said, when shh, no one saw anything. I can has church. So kann meine Kirche haben. Yes, as I say, when a word or a phrase has more than one meaning, and they're sort of intended simultaneously, it can elicit a laughter response, which is what makes it funny. M. Curtains, have I successfully explained your joke? And if I have, and I hope I have, thank you. That was excellent, marvelous. It was fun. So lots of it. There was quite. I think perhaps M. Curtains, you were as surprised as I was at how sophisticated a joke that was. But let's get back to the game.